Hello, name's Bob. I'm going to see if I can take a minute and talk to you. I apologize if you hear a lot of wind noise. I was going to do this outside, but the wind has kicked up so bad I've hopped into my truck to do it. Uh, this wind, you know, uh, lately I've been thinking, and what I've been thinking about is I think we're doing, as society in general, a disservice to people and to a lot of people. And we're doing that by never letting them forget that they've been through a bad time, or also by allowing some to believe they've been through something that was excessively tragic when what they actually went through was really just life. It wasn't something excessively tragic. Now, don't get me wrong. I know some people have been through some bad stuff. Some people have been through some really rough times and they need time to heal, but that's not everybody. That in today's world, it sometimes seems that we expect everyone to have been a victim of something. And if we don't know just what that may victimization or what they may have been a victim of, that we'll find something. We'll convince them they've been a victim of something, and if they come in and say they've been a victim of something, we'll go along with it. Uh, Now, suppose we were to flip that. Suppose that instead of victimhood being a goal, society started pushing being a victor over your past, overcoming it as being a general goal of society. How do you think that would work out? What type of difference would that make in individuals' lives and in this world in general? If the normal expectation was to face problems head on, get advice when needed, get some temporary support when needed, with an expectation that shortly you would have to stand on your own again. Now, I'm not saying some people don't have some real tough histories. That's not what I'm saying. And that those people might need support for a very long time. Some of them may forever, depending on what it is. But it seems I've been interacting a lot lately with people that are in a condition of getting support or help or sympathies, however you want to phrase it, but they have no plan to stand on their own. And actually, those that are helping them have no plan for that person to ever be free of them and to stand on their own. It's a plan of never ending support and also of never ending victimhood mentality, that that person will always be seen as a victim and always be seen as somebody that can never make it fully on their own. And I just don't believe that's the case. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm not right. Maybe I've got a seared view of this or something. But at the same time, my thought is I've got a little more faith in some of the people out there. I've got more faith in some of you out there than maybe those around you and maybe you yourself have. I've got faith that a lot of people, if given the right incentive, can work through and move past the tough stuff that's happened. That doesn't mean there won't be scars. That doesn't mean there won't be scars that mark that time or that situation or whatever has happened in life. But it does mean that you are not your scars. That these people I'm coming across with, it's as though those scars and those times have become a permanent definition of who they are. But I could see that those scars could be something that just reminds them of what they have overcome, not a definition of who they are. You know, I've crossed paths with a lot of men, especially in the past several months, that I'm struck by the number that truly want to identify as a victim through casual conversations and different discussions. That victimhood mentality has come up, and I have been surprised at that, and how many of them, it would appear, are happy to stay. Maybe not happy, maybe that's the wrong word, but they have no plan to move forward. They've got nothing laid out or designed to move past that. And that's just, it's sad in my opinion, because when I look at them, I know they've got the ability to move past that. I know if they had a little bit of, maybe they need some help and some direction given, but they also need a goal to not stay where they are. And it's surprising to me. It's just not a mentality I was brought up with. It's not a mentality that the men that were around me would allow me to have. And there was times, if I went through things, they would motivate me to move on. And I guess that's one reason I wanted to put this out there today, because maybe that's what some of you that are watching, or maybe you'll cross paths with some people, and that's what they need, is just somebody to let them know, and maybe you need to be let known you can overcome that, but you need to have a goal of not being a perpetual victim. You need to change that mindset of that. At some point, you got to start moving forward, because being a victim, it's just a miserable place to be. I mean, I've been there before. I've had things that could be considered rough in life. I've walked the path with people close to me that have gone through things rough in life. But we've not stayed there. They've not been allowed to stay there. I was not allowed to stay in situations in my life. And you know what? Now they've moved past it. And I've moved past that things. And I don't think I'm anything special. And if I can do it, I know other people can do it. I know you can do it. And sometimes you have to start with just small victories. There's a great speech out there online. I'll try and link to it below. It's by Admiral McRaven, I believe, if I'm saying it right. But I'll see if I can find it. And he talks in that about, just starting out by making your bed. Several of you have probably seen it. If you haven't, I hope I can find the link. If I don't get that, try and look it up. Admiral McRaven. Very inspirational. But talks about making your bed as a way to start an accomplishment for the day. Sometimes you just need a small win. Sometimes you just need a small victory after you've gone through a good punch in the gut to remind you that you can do something. And maybe just getting up in the morning, dragging yourself out of bed, and making that bed is that victory. And like he says in there, if nothing else, then when you get home at night from a long day, at least you'll have a clean bed to go to sleep in. But start with something small. Set something up so you can have an accomplishment. Start where you can get a win. You may look at something and you may think, you know what, that's something minor. But you know what? We've mostly got men that are listening to this on the channel. There's a few ladies out there that will listen. I get some feedback and comments from every now and then, but it's mostly men. And as men, we need a win. We all need a win in life, especially when you've been gut punched. I'm not saying that people aren't victims of some things, but a lot of times it's not that major tragedy that we make it out to be. And society, a lot of times, wants us to be victims and wants everybody to be a victim, and is really pushing, in my opinion, a sympathy type of attitude, that you should expect to have some sympathy because you just can't overcome and you're just not good enough and something like that. I disagree with that. So, get up in the morning, get yourself up 5 minutes early, make your bed, and get that win. Maybe another win is just fixing something around your house or on your car or on your truck or whatever it is that's been bad for a long time. Maybe it's as small as you've got a tailpipe that's been rattling and you just need to get some wire and fix it up so you don't have to deal with that every day. Maybe it's something that's squeaking or closet doors, something as small as that. Maybe you're wanting to get another job, but you haven't started looking. Maybe you just really hate what you do every day and you need to start looking, and maybe that would be a good win for you uh, in your life and in your world. It doesn't have to be a major thing to get you going, but you need to first change your mind. The win starts happening in your mind. The other thing is, if you surround yourself with people that don't win and don't strive to do better, don't be surprised if you change your mindset and you start doing better, if they don't become a little frustrated with you at times, or maybe not seem to be in your corner as much as they were before. The old saying, misery loves company, there's a lot of truth in that. The other thing is, often, if you start succeeding, or if a person starts succeeding, it will make others around them feel less adequate when they look at where they are. They may not want to win. They may want to just sit in their mess and stew. And when you start getting out of that pot, now all of a sudden it makes them feel bad about where they are a little bit more, or they feel, a little bit worse, whatever. But you need to just kind of keep that in mind as you're going through. And I got a couple little things that I'm trying to keep in mind. So I'm going to look at this just for a second. Also, one note that I had, and I came across it when I was in college years ago, somebody had given to me, and I just wanted to make sure I didn't forget it. And that is that today is the first day of the rest of your life. And you decide what the rest of your life is going to be like today. Yesterday is in the past, and tomorrow is still yet to be written. You're where you are today. So if you start changing your mind, you start getting your mindset on the fact that, you know what, I've been sitting in this long enough. And it may be something that, and again, I'm not saying that we haven't had things that have happened to some people out there. Maybe you're in a bad car wreck, and it's caused financial issues and physical issues, but you've got to start working through it. Maybe maybe you've been through a tough divorce, and right now, you feel like you're known as whoever the divorcee. You know what? You can move forward. I'm not saying your heart's not broken. I'm not saying your heart doesn't hurt. I'm not saying there's not emptiness out there. But if you look around, unfortunately, in this country, more than 50% of marriages end in divorce. The majority of the people that go through divorce, after time, are able to recover, regain their life, and move on. If they can do it, you can do it. Maybe you've been fired from your job. There's a lot of people, and maybe not fired, maybe laid off. Unfortunately, in our society today, if you search and look for the last several months, there's been a pretty sizable amount of layoffs going on. Maybe you've lost your job and you've got to look for another one. For a man, that's a pretty big gut punch. But you know what? You can do it. You can find something else out there. Maybe you'll start your own business. I don't know. There's just a whole realm of things that are going on. Maybe you've had just bad relationship with family members and things like that you just need to patch up. Whatever it is that has got you upset, that has been a problem, look at it first and categorize it. Is it a true life-shattering situation? Even if it is a true life-shattering situation, that doesn't mean you're going to be there for the rest of your life. But you've got to decide to change. You've got to decide to get up and change that mentality and do something different tomorrow than you did yesterday, the day before, and the week before. And unfortunately, society a lot of times just keeps reminding us, nope, this is who you are. This is your, whoever you are out there, and put whatever the situation was behind it. And that's kind of like the nameplate that follows you around all the time. That's not. I just want to encourage you that you can overcome that. And also, there's some men out there that have commented on a few things, and I've received some feedback through this channel and through some other ways. And I know you have a lot of wisdom from the University of Life yourself. Please, if you would, put that wisdom out there. Drop a comment. Let some other people know maybe what you've been through and what you've overcome. A lot of times we need to hear our stories of victory that others have been through to let us know that we can do that and encourage us in it. And maybe in that story, you can drop some steps and how you did it and went through. But I'm telling you, I've got more faith in you that you can overcome. And society, we like, a lot of times you run across people, and every time you run into them, they're talking about the same situation they've been through, the same whatever it was, job loss, the same, poor business decision they made, the same way somebody screwed them over in life, whatever it was. And I'm not saying those aren't small things, but what I'm saying is they're not permanent life defining situations. So, I was just thinking about that, actually, not just today, but for the last week and a half, 2 weeks. I don't know if it's just the people I've been running into, the interaction, or what it was, but there's been a whole lot of it out there. And some of the men were just appeared to be happy to be victims. Maybe not happy about it, but they got no plans to change it. They've got no, goal to get out of it. And some of them have people that are willing to help. They just didn't want to. And I just thought I would put this together and put it out today. I hope that's not you. I hope that if you're watching this and, looking for a little bit of encouragement on it, that's what this will do. That, your name does not have victim at the end of it. Your name does not have whatever that situation you've been through at the end of it. Your name is to be written farther tomorrow and the day after and the weeks ahead. You can take control of it. But that being said, I hope if you found this useful at all, that you would hit like on it. If there's somebody out there you think that it could benefit from, share it around. If you think it was a waste of your time, let me know. I apologize for that, but let me know your feedback on that. If you disagree with what I said, let me know on that. But I think as men, we need to hold each other up. As men, we need to encourage each other. If you're going through life, you come across somebody that seems a little beat down, then give them a little pep talk, lift them up if you can. Also, if you come through life and you cross somebody and they've always got it together and you think, you know what, I don't know what they're doing, but they're doing right, go ask them. What are you doing? What's your routine like? How do you overcome tough obstacles? What do you do to make business decisions? How do you always have a smile on your face? But anyway, just wanted to put this out there for a couple minutes. I thank you for your time. I hope you have rest of today is a good day for you. I hope tomorrow's a good day. You end up with a good week. You end up with a good month. And I hope 2024 is a better year for you than 2023. Thank you for your time. I greatly appreciate it.